Okay. Um, well, this is the least important part, so I'll just introduce myself really quickly. Great to see everybody here. Thank you for being here. My name is Jennifer. I am half of the admissions team. Ibu Pancha is not in this call, but she has been in admissions for several years. I've been a teacher at Green School for several years, and this past year moved into admissions. Um, Just really briefly, if you're interested in applying for your children, we are still accepting applications for the 2020 to 2021 academic year. Everything is online, so you can just go to our website and you'll find links to the online application. And I'll repeat this information at the end, but basically everything you need to know is online, and we are still accepting applications. Classes are getting full, but um, at this point we still have a little bit of space in most classes. In case you don't know about Green School, it's an international school, um, ages 3 through 18. We have students from over 40 different countries, and it's a very unique campus. I'm sure that's what you originally were drawn to, was the unique architecture and environment of Green School. That's only part of what makes it really special, though. That's what brings people here, but it's not what keeps them here. It's a really dynamic place, amazing teachers, um, just an incredibly enriching experience for students and families. And what a lot of people don't realize is that when they get to Green School, when families get to Green School, it's not just about the kids. It's a great opportunity for parents to really expand their horizons and learn some really interesting and new things. And that's what the team from the Bridge is here to talk to you about today. So I'll leave the more eloquent explanations of that to our Bridge team members. Chris, would you mind starting us off?
Yeah, well, I'm going to hand over to Carol, and she
Okay.
can say that she'll say the first hello, unless she is frozen.
It looks like she might be frozen still.
Okay, well then I will say hello. So it's nice seeing you. I see all of your names here right now. I wish I could be seeing your happy faces. I'm actually here in California right now, and while my family, my wife and two kids, are in Bali at the moment, and we're going to talk a little bit more about the Bridge. And Carol's going to introduce herself, but just a little bit about me is I was in the corporate tech world for 25 years, have lived overseas from the States for 30 years. And about 11 years ago, we decided to make a move to Bali, and we were going to be there for 1 year. And it's now 11 years later. And we can talk a little bit about that, but yeah, we stay because we just absolutely love it. And I've played different roles at the school. I used to be the director of the school, and then I was head of development. And then Carol will introduce herself here in a second. She and I then started this very unique parent learning center called The Bridge, which we're going to show and share with you today so that your kids don't get all the fun. You get a little bit of the fun as well, too. So I have a child who is in grade 12. He's graduating this year, and a daughter who is in grade 8. And I'll hand over to Carol to let her give a little bit of background as well. Carol, I don't think we hear you very well.
Carol, did you unmute your microphone?
Yeah. Now you
There we
probably
go.
can hear me.
Okay.
Such a basic mistake. Unmute yourself, Carol. Yeah, it's better to be unmuted than.
Uh-oh, did we lose Carol again? Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Well,
it
you
seems
know
like
what?
maybe we did.
we will just keep being a little bit fluid with everything right now. And I'm sure Carol will pop back again. But Carol and I have been working together for 10 years, and she just has an incredible program that she has been running at the school. She has 2 wonderful children. You notice Carol's accent and my accent are quite different. She is from Brazil, and she's actually calling you from the Amazon rainforest of Brazil right now, where she has a home. But just to give you a little bit of a background on the bridge and why we created it. So you've already heard from, not in this call, but in prior, about why you've engaged at Green School about why you're bringing your kids there, because you want your children to have a different learning experience and you want them to be engaging their whole self. This is a really important part of Green School. But we've had this incredible parent community that has been there ever since the start. And since it's a destination school, parents are leaving their jobs behind or taking a break for a year or wanting to be doing different things. And so we've been trying for many, many years to create a space and a center. And you see that they're showing you a little bit of that space there in the video right now. And that is, we wanted to create a place for grownups. So 2 years ago, we created the Bridge, which we kind of finally refer to as Green School for Grownups. And it really accomplishes a few different tasks. The first thing is that it really helps to create these meaningful connections between parents. So instead of us wandering around between the coffee shop and other places, and some of this may not make sense to you, but the campus spreads out a fair bit. So we bring a place where parents can be coming together. And what you're going to find at Green School is that you wear your parent hat a lot, but we almost kind of forget about who we are as adults and with our careers and all these things that we do. So we want to be able to continue to cultivate that and allow that to develop. So we're creating connections, but we're also trying to help you get to where you want to go faster. It's about accelerating synchronicity. And what I mean by that is the route for most people as they go through is that they come to Green School, they're planning to be there for 1 year, but then after 2 months, they're like, oh, I want to stay. But then we hit the Christmas break. They come back in January, February. Now they're starting to explore what they want to do. And it starts to get a little bit difficult. So the Bridge provides an opportunity to allow people to be able to explore different options, to be able to pivot in their career and find different things that they're able to do. So over the past 2 years, we have given 500 talks and programs and workshops. And Carol, you may just have to mute your microphone for 1 second. And so our talks range from Facebook advertising to social media to agroforestry to permaculture gardening to rice fields to breath work to educational talks to talks on UFOs. We've even continued these talks online over the past few weeks of doing talks on investigative journalism to talks about yoga teachers teaching yoga in Carabocan prison. So that's a little bit of what we're trying to be doing with the Bridge and what we've been trying to create this place to allow you to be able to grow just like your kids. So Carol, I gave a little bit of an introduction, and but maybe you could just introduce yourself a little bit, and I just gave an overview of the Bridge. And Julie, I think you may need to mute your mic there.
Yes, sorry about that. I don't know what happened. My connection just went down when I was introducing myself. So, I mean, thanks, Chris, for introducing the space. So I'm Carol, and together with Chris, we started the Bridge. And I came to Bali 9 years ago, and I was a travel photographer, and I was traveling around the world. I mean, never thought that I was going to stop in a place until I found Green School, and I was absolutely in love. And I really wanted to give that education for my kids. And it's exactly and then we started with a big problem, like how do we stay there? How do we make it possible? And we had to completely change our careers and pivot in our life to start something new and to make it possible to stay at Green School. And through different roles that I end up starting working at Green School, and the bridge was really coming from inspiration of helping parents and helping the community to kind of make it possible to pivot their career to, economically be there in Bali, because for most of families, it's end up being a 1 year or 2 years experience. But I mean, I can guarantee that most of them would like to stay forever, and most of the problem to stay forever is really how to make that. So the bridge was really created to hold this space, and also to extend the learning for the adult community. Because I mean, I remembered my first time going to Green School and like just looking around and said, like, oh my gosh, why I didn't have this opportunity myself, So it's kind of like being able to have the opportunity also for us to revisit our education and to keep the learning journey. Yes, because learning, it's a lifelong journey. So it is really trying to bring these for the parents as well. And yes, as Chris said, we're doing talks and workshops, and more the bridge is becoming a place for the community members to, exchange knowledge and to, get together, start projects, start business together. So it's really becoming more and more alive. I mean, the bridge, thanks God, is just like growing, because it's really important for the parents that are here to feel this support, and I think that this is what everybody that comes to Green School feels, that they are part of a community, they are part of a family, that it's not only for their kids, it's for themselves as well. So the transformation that happens when you come to Green School, it's a transformation that happens in all levels in your families, and the bridge is the support.
Oh, I think so. You see, if Carol was calling from the bridge, that beautiful space, we actually have high-speed fiber optic internet there. So these things actually don't happen in Bali, but we can't help her in the Amazon right now. And we'll get to some of the questions in a little bit. But I see someone there. Was saying, like, who was on the call from Brazil, and that is Carol, who you just heard. I think that was Jojo was her name, asking questions. But one thing just to kind of to mention about our talks, most of the talks come from the parents, right? They come from you, who will hopefully be joining here. We have Andrea here from Singapore, I see, and we have people from New Zealand, and from all over the world. It's such a great community, but it's really, it's not a place where people come in with these high professional talks to be presenting. It's an opportunity for some people to be ever presenting for the first time in their lives when they're in their 40s or 50s. And it's a really loving and kind and supportive community. So that may just be something that you're able to do. And that's an important part of what we're trying to do, is this idea of activating intention about what do you want to accomplish in your time that you're in Bali. And Carol knows this, and Jennifer knows this. Time goes very, very quickly, and you're sitting there and you think, oh, this is great. I have 10 months ahead of me. I have all this time. I've never had this much time in my life. And, all of a sudden you're going to wake up and it's like, wow, that went very, very quickly. So what we try to help you do is to setting an intention at the beginning, and your intention may be to completely disconnect from the world for 12 months. Now, I had that intention myself, and I failed miserably. I got a 0 out of 10 in disconnecting from the world. But you may be wanting to start a new business. You may be wanting to strengthen your relationship with your partner. You may want to learn how to become a public speaker. You may want to learn how to run a website. You may be learning how to be doing a whole variety of different things. And so, but we have many coming from the parents. But we also have talks from people like Gunther Paul and Satish Kumar. These are amazing individuals that come from around the world who are doing some pretty remarkable things. So I'm filling in for you again here, Carol. And but maybe what we can do is maybe show the video of people, which I think really brings together how the bridge really works, and then we can get right to some of your questions here to everybody. Okay, Carol, did you want to run that video?
Yes, I'll run that video. Let's see if my internet is gonna.
You can start something right now, right here, at the bridge. You have an idea.
You have an idea.
You need a dynamic space of learning.
You need a dynamic
to find
space
mentors
of
to advise you.
To find mentors to advise you.
you.
And a community to support you.
You need to adapt.
You need to adapt.
To build a plan.
To build a plan.
To test your ideas and fail in a safe place. Because failure is success if you learn.
Failure is success if you learn.
You need friends at your side.
You need friends at your side and a family to support you.
Because you can start something from nothing. We are entrepreneurs. Artists.
We are entrepreneurs.
Authors. Educators.
Engineers.
Parents. But more than that, we are changing. You can start something.
You can start something.
Right now. This is Green School.
This is Green School
at the bridge.
At
Your
the bridge.
journey is our passion.
Your journey is our passion.
That's great. Thanks, Carol.
You're welcome. So should we go for questions and answers now, Jennifer?
Yeah, I think that'd be nice. I see that there's a lot of people with us in Q&A. And Carol, I think there's a little bit of static coming off of your mic at times. I'm not sure if others are hearing that. So Jennifer, could we just walk through these and see?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
And why don't we just agree that if you're not talking, you just go ahead and mute your mic, because I think there's a little bit of background noise on your mic there, Carol. So the first question I thought we could address was whether the bridge offers workspace for parents who are running businesses at home or doing some degree of telecommuting.
So I can answer the first one, and Carol, maybe you and I can just go back and forth, but that is the whole reason for the bridge. So we have 2 dual fiber optic lines. We have the space that you're seeing in the video there. That is the downstairs space, but we also have in the building next door an upstairs space. We have a conference room, and then we even have on a mini part of the 3rd floor are some private office spaces. Now, this is Green School, so you see that there are no walls. There is not air conditioning. We deal with the elements a little bit, and it's a little bit more fluid. And every once in a while, we have a few kids that are running through, which is nice. But sometimes it can be a little bit funny. But yeah, many people run their businesses from the bridge, and we've actually had 2 businesses start from the bridge. One is an electric scooter business called Scoot, and one is an online investment application called Lucy that was created by a team of guys from around the world that are based in Singapore. So we have a group that is just there for the talks, for the programs, for the interaction, for inspiration. We have people there running their businesses, people there trying to start their businesses. And that video that you saw, those are all parents. I know every single person, as does Carol, who's in that video. And so while it is nice and has nice music, that is the real deal of what's happening there at the bridge. So hopefully that answers your question, but if not, please just add another question onto there.
We've got another question from Shauna. Shauna is asking, do you hold classes on a weekly basis, or how is it coordinated?
So I'm going to reply this one. So we normally hold 2 talks. I mean, so now during the online times, we are still holding weekly talks. and we are holding well-being sessions. But once we go back to presential, normally we have 2 weekly talks happening every week. And then we do have meetups, like we have photography club, book club, we have the coaching circle. So we have some groups that have been started by parents. We also have the well-being sessions happening almost daily, and some of them provided by parents as well. We do have, I think that's it. That's our basic schedule. And then we do have the podcast that you can watch the recorded talks. We have the blog where you can read stories at the Bridge blog, where there's community stories. So there is a lot of going on the digital space as well now. And we do also workshops, like Chris mentioned. So we have the talks that are open and free for everybody. And then we prepare some workshops and trainings that these are normally paid, and these are normally longer programs.
Yeah, my office was briefly next door to the Bridge for a few weeks, and I was so jealous listening to all the really interesting workshops and talks going on there all the time. I just wished I could stop working for a little while and go, but I couldn't. I could eavesdrop a little bit, and there are always so many interesting things going on. Topics ranging from starting a business in Bali to yoga or meditation or gardening, permaculture, just so many really interesting topics. Many of these workshops and talks given by Green School families or Green School parents, Green School teachers, also outside experts, people from the local Bali community, as well as visiting travelers who have expertise that would be of interest to Green School parents. And there's always something interesting going on, not to mention the Green School Parent Association meetings that happen there once a month that are always full of lively, sometimes rather heated debates, but never a lack of something interesting to do there. And of course, there are people there just using the internet, parents using the internet, the high-speed internet for their work or for communicating. So it's always something interesting. Maybe before we go on to the next question, why don't we ask Julie, or if you're available, maybe you could give us a quick tour of the space at the Bridge, because it really is a very lovely, very comfortable outdoor space. Julie, are you there?
He's been moving the bottom camera, showing the bottom space. That's what he's doing right now. Oh, there he is right there. There's Julie.
Oh,
okay.
Hi. So comfortable seating, a lot of, looks like, I don't know, Chris, is it, and Carol, is it mostly recycled or repurposed materials used for seating and tables and chairs and so forth?
So hi everyone.
Oh, there's Joy.
My name is Julie. So I will show you the bridge live. So here sofa. So this place, like usually in a normal time, so many parents doing discussion, like talking, and then make some project, and we have like a lot of interesting talks. So this is the board. So this is a weekly event, so workshop, and then community event. So you also can put yours here. So this is the Green Educators course. So every week we update the newsletter. So this is the community board. You can share your event here, everything. And We have also a Skype booth. So this is a Skype booth. I'm not working on that. So this is a Skype board. So someone's still working, so we have to a bit quiet. And I also want to show you guys the place where we do presentation and talks. Jangan cepet-cepet loh. So here we usually update the event like daily, and then this is also the board where you can see the next events happen at the bridge. Okay.
Yes, thank you
So
so
now I will
much,
show you
Julie.
the place where we do talk. So this is the place. This is the place where we do talks and presentation, and we also record the session. And so we use as a podcast or something like that, and we record every session happen at the bridge. And sometimes you also watch a movie, watch a documentary films about last time about Amazon or something like that, and you can chill also here, like using this beanbag and watch the film, and then we do the discussion. That's this is the place where we do talks, discussion, and then sometimes meet up, like writing club. We write here together, and then later you can share or not to share your writing results. And also here you can discuss and then talks together, meet your friends, making project and doing things. And this is again the board, our weekly newsletter. You can subscribe our newsletter, so you will find the update there weekly, or you just go to our website, the bridge, greenschool.org. So that's it, the place where we do presentation. We also have the rooms upstairs for yeah, that's it.
Right. That's great.
Thanks
Julie.
so much, Julie.
Discussion.
Thank
Pardon?
Julie.
Awesome. And I know it's closed right now. Can we get a quick shot of the Living Food Lab? This is a raw foods cafe just next door to the bridge, where you can get freshly squeezed raw fruit and vegetable juices and snacks and local organic
Yeah, when
coffee. That's
So
that little building on
we
the
have a
right.
night bar here with the Living Food Lab.
Delicious food. It's closed right now, but it's pretty convenient to have healthy, delicious food, raw foods available to snack on while
Okay, that's it.
you're working.
Okay. Thanks, Julie.
Thanks so
Julie.
much.
You're welcome.
Great tour.
Thank you. I miss the space.
Bye.
Yeah, it's really a comfortable, beautiful space. But I have to tell you guys, it is the jungle. We don't have air conditioning, so it's whatever temperature is outside is the same in all of our spaces at Green School, including the bridge. So that's just something to be aware of. And it can be hot, it can be humid. It's something we all get used to, and I personally love hot, humid weather now. But if you're not prepared, it can be a little bit of a surprise. But it's comfortable. We have you guys have fans set up everywhere, and it's quite a pleasant place to work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to
Yeah, we do have more fans than any other place in Green School.
It's true. It's true. I'm very jealous.
I was maybe going to comment on Shauna's question, because that sort of follows on from Julie's.
Yeah.
And so if so we host a number of different things. We have a book club. We actually, Carol, if you could mute again, that'd be good. If we had a book club just last week. We just read The Dutch House. We've read a number of books over the past 2 years. And Shauna, if I see, do I have your name right? Yes, Shauna. We actually do have a writers club. It's very informal. We sometimes have as many as 10 people. Sometimes it's just 2 of us in there. And we just set a time aside every single week for about an hour that allows people to come in, to be able to talk, to be able to not talk, to be able to write, and just focus on their project. We have had parents come in there who have been working on books that they started 10 years ago. We had one guy who just started writing on a tweet, and he ended up writing 3 pages. I often write the newsletter in our writers meetup. And so it's a really, really great way. But you're asking about not just writing, but do you find other people to connect with and do things? And that absolutely is what the Bridge is about. And not just at the Bridge, through our parents' Facebook pages. And we have a number of different ways of getting people connected. And we don't try to control everything that's happening at the Bridge. It really is a community space. So you may have an idea for a new type of talk or a new weekly meeting that you want to be doing. So for example, we have a coaching circles meeting, which is a group of people that come together, and it's a very fascinating technique that they use to be addressing project development or challenges in life and things like that. And so we are open for so much to have it as a very fluid, open, supportive community space.
Yes.
Yeah. Chris, go ahead, Carol. Sorry.
Yeah. So, and then I see another question here for Ashanika about what are these talks, and are the talks given by parents as experts, or are you inviting others too? So it's a mix. So there is a lot of parents from our own community and a lot of amazing people that come here to Green School as parents. So there's a lot of parents hosting those talks. But there is also a lot of people that come to Green School to exchange with Green School and end up giving talks. So we had people like Gunther Pauli coming, Satish Kumar, and so many other amazing speakers that wanted to come to Green School, wanted to connect with the community, and we were lucky enough to listen. Like Alessandra Cousteau was there recently. So it's a mix, a combination of people and connections from parents as well. Sometimes parents have like amazing people coming from abroad to spend a week here, and Bali itself attracts a lot of different people. So there is, people from lots of different backgrounds.
So there's a question about what kind of jobs people do at in Bali. And this is something that's important for prospective families to know, is that there are very few employment opportunities for foreigners in Bali. People who come here expecting to find a job once they get in Bali can be disappointed. It's best to have a plan for being able to work remotely, or on a business or something like that. Some other means of income if you are planning on coming to live in Bali and for your children to go to school at Green School, because it's not like moving to New York and just getting a job or something like that. There are restrictions on employing foreigners in Indonesia, and it is possible to get a work visa, but the system is set up to favor Indonesians for jobs, as it should be, because there are a lot of a lot of people living in Indonesia who need jobs. So I do want to make that point. However, Chris and Carol, maybe you guys can talk to this point a little bit. I know that there are green school parents who start businesses or start some kind of collaborative effort with other families and are able to find a way to provide income for themselves over time.
Yeah, I mean, it's why I'm or London. However, on the campus, if some of you may, if you haven't been, and that sells a whole variety of, well, started by a parent, now it's run by a parent. We have a coffee shop that was started by a parent and now run by a local parent. The Living Food Lab was started by two parents. They then sold it to another parent, and she has now expanded that business to 2 locations on the Green School campus, and she also has one down to the south in Canggu. And out right off the campus grounds, we have Sugi Roll, which is a Korean restaurant started by a parent. We also have another restaurant that is a Turkish restaurant started by parents. Now, are these things raking in hundreds of thousands of dollars? No, they are not. Are they helping to create a business, establish, allowing people to be able to get work visas and do things? Absolutely. And there are many other parents that do other things, that have started businesses, spas, other restaurants, import, export, the 2 businesses that I was talking about earlier. But the key to it, to me, is to have the idea when you first come that you want to be doing it, right? And so it gets very difficult. And I sometimes am speaking to parents the first few weeks in August, and I'm like, well, I can see what they're wanting to do and they're wanting to stay, but then they don't really have that intention and that focus of going out and exploring different, opportunities and doing different things. So it's not. It is a little bit more pick and choose. If you're a doctor, you cannot practice in Indonesia. If you're a lawyer, you can't practice, but you can do things tangential to that connect into that. But I've seen a number of people create different businesses, people doing yoga, people running health stuff, and so it really does depend on what's going on. And there's always people who are in Bali and at Green School who are wanting to start businesses and create new ventures. And I've probably helped, I don't know, 5-7 people over the past 10 years sell their businesses to other people within Bali as well too. So so it is a balance in that regard.
Yeah, can I just add something there? I think that Indonesia doesn't offer us like regular jobs like we are used in other places in the world. But in other hand, as Chris was saying, it does offer a lot of entrepreneur options, opportunities, So for people that have this entrepreneur kind of mindset, it's actually a very fertile soil for new projects and new ideas. And that's one of the things that the bridge does. It's really helping to support. So, for example, we every semester we hold talks with companies that we partner about legalities of how to work in Bali, how to set up a company, and how to lease property. And so all these legal steps of how to start a business here, it's something that it's always in our menu, because we know that it is always in the backs of people's head here,
Yeah, that's very true. There's definitely an entrepreneurial spirit among so many Green School parents. And I think that's a good segue to the next question, which is whether the bridge has any involvement with student programs or activities. I know there's the mentorship program and other ways that parents are involved with sharing their knowledge and skills with the students at Green School.
Okay, so yes, we do have student engagement. So we do have the mentor groups that we are mentoring. We mentor some of students. So we together with the Project Hub, they have all the projects that the students write and they want to develop at the Green School. It goes to the project bank, and the project bank kind of help the students to move forward with their project. The bridge collaborates with the Project Hub, and every now and then we hold sessions to mentor the students. We also mentor the students in their Greenstone projects. So we have sessions. So the Greenstone project is their capstone project that they do on the grade 12 when they are about to graduate. So there is a mentoring process from parents to the students. I mean, most of our talks, we invite the students as well. So there is a lot of the talks that students will stop class and come. Not all of them, but sometimes we do that if the subject is relevant. Sometimes not all students, but sometimes particular classes where teachers are working around the same team and that the talk is about. We also offer internships for grade 12 students that they can make internships here. What else, Chris? Do you want to add anything?
Well, I'm not sure whether you just cut out or I cut out for a second, but I think you covered most of it. But yes, we do a lot of work with students, and we try to connect the parents up to be mentors with the students, and so it's a very enriching process. It's really a lot of fun.
Okay, well, we're just about out of time. Before we wrap it up, Chris or Carol, is there anything else you would like to add in at the last minute here?
Well, I mean, I'll just go, and then Carol can wrap everything up. Yeah, sorry if I misspelled that. I put our our email address up there. The writing's a little bit small. It's thebridge@greenschool.org, and you can also get us on the website. So please, if you have any questions for us, feel free to write to the Bridge. We are very open, very casual, happy to answer all of your questions. And you, of course, have the admissions team to be helping you with parent questions. But I actually end up helping a lot of parents kind of getting settled and doing things. So we're very happy to be able to do that. And you're here because I know all of you are thinking about it or interested in Green School. And all I can say as a parent, I mean, I do not stay in Bali because of the work or anything. We stay here because we do love Bali and we have a place, but our children just love going to Green School. And for me as a parent, I am, when I'm having one of my bad parent days, when I know I could be doing things better, I at least say to myself, my kids are at Green School. And, we're not here to be convincing you to go to Green School. We all know it's a huge, huge decision. We all honor that and respect that completely. And, but it is, for those of you that do decide to do it, it's a wonderful opportunity. And the school also does such a nice job of taking care of parents and landing. And now we have the Bridge, which is another kind of safe haven for parents to be able to do. So anyways, I look forward to seeing you all, or some of you, hopefully all of you, in August. And I really appreciate you taking the time to let us share with you a little bit about what we've been doing at Green School and the Bridge. So thank you for that.
Thank you, Chris. So I want to thank everybody also for being here. And yes, as Chris said, it's a huge step to move to Green School towards, I would say, education that we believe for our kids. I can tell from my own experience that every effort, every penny, every I mean drama, because it's a huge thing, was worth it. And here at Green School I really found my tribe, and I really found a group of people and a community that really supports each other. So you're gonna find so much support here, not only from us, from the bridge, but for the whole community, and from the Green School Parents Association, and from the various Facebook groups, and from all documents that have been developed by parents. By the way, there is a guide, Living in Bali, also, that you probably, I don't know if you have received, but it's also in our website on the community tab, that you can also access a lot of information regarding living in Bali and the challenges about finding houses and health insurance and all of that. And I'm sure that admissions can we'll share this doc with you again, but you can find also a website. But the thing is that there is a lot of support. I mean, and we hear this across teachers, across students, across parents, across everyone, like everybody feel, once they are part of the Green School family, that they are part of a family, so just just know that people will be here for you, even without knowing you well. Just by being part of the family, people will be here for you in a way that sometimes they haven't been for me, even in my own country, even in my own community. So it is really special. The community, it is something really, really special at Green School, and it's a major decision decision for people to stay in Green School. It's because of that. It's not only the education of their kids, it's the whole package, So I hope I can see all of you here back in August, and and we can have some fun together.
And I do see a couple, responded to a couple of the other questions from Shauna and Rachel. I see that you have a question as well too. And so please just write to the bridge, and I'd be very happy to respond to those specifically. I gave a little bit of perspective to you, Shauna, but I know Jennifer and even Carol will have a very different perspective. But answering your question, Rachel, about a typical day, well, there's no typical day. And so, but I'd say that a lot of parents, summing it, come to the school, they stay at the school, they stay at the bridge, they're very active in the community. Some parents come to the school, hang out for a while, go and do different things. And also people are on very different schedules, particularly during the first few months. But I'm happy to elaborate on that. When you write to the bridge email, that comes to me and Carol, so we get that and we can respond to you there. Okay.
Yeah. And I'm sorry if we missed your question. If we did not get to your question, please email either admissions, that will come to me and my colleague Pancha, or send it to the bridge at greenschool.org. Either one, and we'll reference, if you send it to the wrong person, we'll forward it for you. But if you joined us late, just to recap about admissions information, we are still accepting applications for the upcoming school year, which will begin in August. So we're taking applications still. We are getting quite full in most grades, especially at the ends. So the really young ones, so ages 3 and 4, are getting very, very full. And then we do not take new students in grade 12. But otherwise, I think we have at least 1 or 2 spaces still available at every grade level at this point. And we are still taking applications. So email us at admissions@greenschool.org. We can help you get started with that. any questions about living in Bali, working in Bali, living in Bali, all of that, we can send you resources. It's a very, very welcoming community. We have resources we can give you now, but of course, the most valuable resources are the people. So once you physically arrive, you will be welcomed with open arms by many loving people who've been through the same process and can help you through the challenge of moving to a new school, new country. It's an adventure, but it's fun and rewarding and a really wonderful opportunity for growth for everyone in the family. So thank you guys. Thank you, Julie and Chris and Carol for helping today. We'll have another similar webinar next week at a different time to meet different time zones. It's not great for those of us in North or South America, but it's works for people in Asia or Australia, or Europe, maybe. Yeah, Europe. And anyway, thank you guys for joining. Email with any questions, and everybody, please stay safe, stay healthy, and take care of yourselves. We